Next, our next presenters are Rachel Gold and Brooke Tuttle. Rachel Gold is the director of the Tulsa Albert Schweitzer Fellowship. She and Brooke Tuttle, a 2017 to 18 Schweitzer Fellow and OU-Tulsa doctoral student, will share about the initiative Brooke and her Schweitzer team launched throughout the Tulsa County Family Center for Juvenile Justice.
This photo was taken the night I met Jake in July 2017. Jake was 16 and he hadn't seen his siblings in over a year. He lit up when his family entered the room that night and he bear hugged his 6-year-old little brother who had 2 missing front teeth. They had been a family in transition, living in and out of shelters or motels for most of Jake's life. In fact, this night was the very first time they ever sat down and shared a family meal together. What if I were to tell you this happened a few miles from here at the Tulsa County Juvenile Detention Center, Tulsa's secure, temporary lockup facility for youth who have been involved in crime in the Tulsa area? Now, we all know that Oklahoma has some of the highest incarceration rates in the country, but there are things that we can do to change that. For example, we know that strong, healthy families can prevent teens like Jake from future criminal behavior and keep them from becoming Oklahoma statistics. So with this in mind, another graduate student and I applied for the Albert Schweitzer Fellowship to partner with the Tulsa County Juvenile Bureau and implement a family engagement program for youth in detention. Our project brought groups of youth in detention and their families together once a week for 6 weeks with the goals of strengthening family relationships, practicing communication skills, and setting family goals. This program was the first of its kind in the state of Oklahoma.
Brooke's project was one of 12 projects that we launched with the Albert Schweitzer Fellowship last year, and one of 31 launched since we started the fellowship back in 2016. Not only that, but Brooke's project was one of 220 Schweitzer projects that were launched across the U.S. last year. Our Tulsa Fellows are part of a national network of leaders committed to improving the health of our communities. Oklahoma ranks 48th, 49th, or 50th in almost every health measure there is to measure. The Albert Schweitzer Fellowship trains leaders to invent and implement bold ideas to address these disparities. Our fellowship is interdisciplinary. We draw our fellows from graduate programs across Tulsa and from any discipline, from MD and DO students to fine art and law. Our fellows learn early on that the most impactful change in communities comes when we listen to the voices of those in those communities. Chris said it best here, that he doesn't need a white coat to start healing communities, he just needs to take the time to listen. With a foundation of trust and insight, our fellows partner with local agencies to launch their projects. They have to be unique, something never been done before, just like Brooke did with her Family Strengthening Project. Mentorship, reflection, and relationships with key Tulsa leaders gives our fellows the structure and the support they need as they navigate the ups and downs of their projects. Our good news is that 70% of Schweitzer Fellow projects get sustained past the fellowship year. That means right now in Tulsa, there are 27 Schweitzer-initiated projects that are touching the lives of people here in our community. The experience of starting a project and taking it from beginning to end gives our fellows a heightened sense of their capabilities. Our fellows leave the fellowship with confidence and with drive to truly apply their talent as they launch their careers. Our fellows fall in love with Tulsa as Schweitzer Fellows. Many say they build roots here they never could have imagined, and many have even chosen to stay here.
So as you can probably guess, our project was such a success that the county wanted it to continue, and the teens did too. Our project has now reached over 40 families of youth in detention in Tulsa County, and we kicked off our 10th cohort this week. Families like Jake's put in hard work on tough family issues, and it pays off. You see, when Jake first started in our program, he had trouble expressing his feelings, and he had difficulty communicating without arguing. But just a few weeks later, Jake wrote this letter to his mom. Jake wrote, "You are important to me because you are my mother and I love you. Something I am looking forward to next week is seeing you and talking."
Our best news is that we've created a pipeline of leaders who are investing their humanity right here in Tulsa.